Hi Gems, it's your girl Amber and welcome back to my channel. This look that you see before you today just came highly requested. You guys saw that I had bought Kat Von D's new Mi Vida Loca palette and wanted to see what look I could come up with it. So overall impression, Kat Von D never fails. Colors, beautiful, vibrant. Are they everyday use? Maybe not, but special occasion, or if you are a makeup artist and want to carry it around in your kit, definitely endless possibilities. So if you're interested in how I achieve this look, keep watching. Our Gems, jumping right in it, we prime our eyes with Thank Me Later eye primer. This came in my December Ipsy bag, and I've just been using it to kind of give my MAC Prep and Prime a break since that is my absolute favorite. Put this all over the lid because we're using vibrant colors, so we want to make sure that they pop and really give us the color payoff that we're looking for. My brow bone, I'm using Lyric, which is kind of like an iridescent white tone, just to highlight my brow bone, something I hardly ever do since I typically use my mineralized skin finish for this, but I really wanted to have a really sheen appeal on my brow bone and really lift since I need these suckers done, honey. As my transition color, I go in with Entourage, which is kind of an orange matte shade, and I'm using my blending brush Handy Dandy from BH Cosmetics. This was in all efforts not to use Morocco. As you know, that is my favorite transition color. And I just applied this above the crease in a windshield wiper motion, as this will really help the other colors blend out pretty seamlessly on the lid and really show that gradient effect. And I just make sure that I apply as much as I prefer for the, the most color payoff as possible. In the outer portion of my lid, I'm using that burgundy color called Rewind, which is what really initially gravitated me to this palette. And I'm using this on the outer corner to really start to draw in the deeper shade tones that I'm looking for with this look. I really love the color payoff. I mean, it's Kat Von D, and I really wanted to define the lid using it. And it has a bit of a shimmer in it, but it wasn't too overwhelming that it couldn't be used in that area of the lid. And I really wanted to just gradually grow as I continue to add colors, so that I'm blending it with a clean blending brush to make sure the two colors marry together. And I'm really liking this so far. I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of like, oh, what look am I going for? But I really like these colors and wanted to play around with them. So I just deepened that outer portion a little bit deeper so that we don't lose that aubergine-esque type feel of it, which is really essentially like my favorite. On the lid, I'm using, it's a light pale pink. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it, but it was in the purple family. So I applied that on the outer third of my eye, and I wanted to build it up, and then I kind of made a conscious decision like, oh, maybe I should make this more of a halo since it has that pop in the center, and I really was feeling that rewind. So I placed that in the inner corner of my eyelid to really create that halo effect. Excuse me, nose was itching. Is that just me when people do your makeup? Does your nose just randomly itch throughout the process? So I take my blending brush, no additional product, and I really blend the Rewind and the Entourage together. And at this point, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to do a wing, but then I don't want to do a wing because I don't want to lose the pop on the lid. So I just place a little bit of Kat Von D's Trooper just for my lash band for the lashes that I'm going to apply to marry and look pretty seamless, but I didn't want to do a dramatic wing. I'm using my Coco Lashes Pixie Luxe for this look, which are my favorite go-to at the moment. Just didn't want to take away from the lid. I just wanted to be a seamless application, but show some volume with my lashes. And I am using my Revlon Clear lash glue, which has been my go-to. I've been stopped using the House of Lashes black adhesive, using my Baby Skin poreless eraser product because my pores were out of control, and I just noticed I had a lot of darkening under my eyes, so I had to make sure to color correct before we start applying any kind of foundation. And this is just the LA Girl Pro concealer in the orange shade. Make sure I blend that out really seamlessly before I apply any foundation to really cancel out those dark areas on my skin. And I mean, lately I feel like in my most recent tutorials I've been gravitating more to this foundation, which is the NARS All Day Luminous, because I like to take advantage of it in the winter months, because there's nothing wrong with luminosity in the winter because you're not going to be sweating and looking like a grease ball. And I'm in the color New Orleans, and I apply this all over the face, and I prefer to use a Morphe foundation brush for this product because it's a little bit more watery, whereas though if it's a thicker consistent foundation, I tend to use my Beauty Blender to really get in there and blend properly. And I just apply this all over the skin, especially in the areas that I applied that concealer, to make sure that it cancels out those dark circles. And then use my Beauty Blender to kind of bring the whole look together and make sure I'm not missing anything and making sure it's as seamless as possible. For my concealer, I'm going with my MAC Pro Longwear and NC45, I believe. And same process here. You guys have seen me do time and time again. Underneath the eyelid, Cupid's bow, nose, the forehead, and on my chin. And I make sure that I apply this with my finger rather than a brush so that it kind of melts into the skin and makes my blending process a little bit more seamless. And I'm just using my Real Techniques blending brush, ladies. Oh, my Real Techniques, what is it? Oh, my Real Techniques Beauty Blender. And I'm making sure that I press this powder and make sure it's seamless so there's no harsh lines all in those areas that I applied the concealer. For contour, again, another winter month favorite is a cream finish, and this is the Black Up Contour Stick in the color 04. And again, this is another product that I've been using more in the winter months than I would in the summer because it's cold and I'm not sweating. So the finish will be seamless and it won't be moving all over my face. And plus I reinforce it with a powder anyway, but I take a clean beauty blender primarily to blend in the darker shades so that it doesn't contaminate the other beauty blender I use for my concealer. Apply a little on my nose, and then I start to blend that product upward to create that contour shading effect to really snatch and lift this brow bone. Had a moment, y'all. That beat must have dropped. I don't even know what I was listening to. But I take this, and this is a damp beauty blender. I take this and apply this to the temples of my forehead, the hollows of my cheek, you know, the areas again against my jawline, as well as snatching up that nose. Something I don't primarily do often with a cream product, but I felt the need today because I was really feeling this cream contour. To set it, I decided not to bake, but to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit powder, and this is in the color Nude, to just place the product underneath my eyes because I'm noticing that my eyes have been a lot more dry, so I didn't really want to bake. And for my contour to set that cream product, I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills powder and Karab to really set that cream product. For my brows, I'm using my MAC Set Brow, and this is in the color Brunette. I felt Ebony was a bit too dark, so I started transitioning to using brunettes so that they stay in place all day. To set my entire face, you guys have seen me use this. It's my go-to. It's my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Deep Dark to really reinforce those areas that I want to stay put throughout the day. And just pat this. I really don't swirl this all over my face, but I go back in to finish my lower lash line, and this is where we drop in a little bit more color and fun. I'm using, again, my favorite brand of eyeliner, and that's my L'Oreal Infallible, but this is in the color Cobalt Blue, since Kat Von D had a really gorgeous blue color in her kit that I wanted to use, or that palette. I apply this on my lower lash line. I blend this out so that it has more of a soft finish. And I just thought it complemented my upper lid so nice. And for a powder from that palette, I'm using, Jesus, I can't remember. I feel like it was like Sinker, whatever the color, but it's the blue, more of the teal blue color from the palette. And I'll make sure to list that color below since I'm using all Kat Von D products on this look. And I just reinforce that liner. It's a little bit lighter, which I love because then it created that gradient effect. And in my efforts to make sure that my upper lid matched my lower lid, I go back in with that same orange matte color, which was, I believe, Entourage or Anchorage. Why do I feel like it's one or the other? But again, I'll make sure I list it below. I reinforce my inner lash line with that Cobalt Blue liner again, just so that it pops and it's a little bit more vibrant, which I'm really, really loving. And I felt like I lost a little bit on my actual lid, so I went back in with that pale pink color so that the halo really popped when my lids were open, and as well, you know, taking images, you know, looking down, it really shown to be a little more effective. Didn't want a bright color on my blush. I'm using my Milani Cosmetics Desert Rose, just a light flush of color since I'm using more vibrant colors on my lid. I'm going in with my Becca Cosmetics Opal, which I broke. God, I'm so clumsy, so I couldn't show you guys, but I am using Becca Cosmetics Opal highlighter and all those high points of my face that the sun will touch. I finished the look off with setting spray. I'm using my Smashbox Primer Water. And for my lip, just to stay consistent with my Kat Von D experience, I am going in with, what the hell is this color? This is HAU5. I mean, Baja 5? Let's go with that. This is a vibrant, beautiful liquid lipstick that she came out with that is just so complimentary to darker skin tones. I mean, it was just a must-have, and I decided to apply this all over the lip without a liner because it's just not necessary. But there you have it, gems, your full Kat Von D Vita Loca palette look. I hope you enjoyed it. Until our next video, bye!